Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Scott Wertanen from Honest Rate. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today, I want to talk to you guys about purchasing a home using VA financing. And there's a few key benefits, a couple of things you have to be mindful of, and then a few myths that we're going to bust today. So let's talk about the benefits. So with VA, the number one thing is you can buy a VA home loan with 0% down. You do not need a payment for VA. And that's huge, where a lot of people, first-time home buyers might be thinking, I need 3.5, 5, 10. Some people think still today in 2026 they need 20% down to buy a house, which is crazy. But VA says 0% down. To me, that's huge for a few things. Number one, keeping cash in your pocket. If you're buying a place and you want to do some updates to it, even if it's just minor stuff, you're buying furniture, you're doing some things, sprucing it up, painting, having that extra 3% or 5% in your pocket is massive. So being able to buy it with 0% down is a huge advantage in today's market. Number two, VA does not require PMI. You do not have to pay private mortgage insurance, regardless of down payment. So you can get a 0% down loan without PMI. And if you're thinking to yourself, Scott, what the heck is PMI? Well, most of you know that if you buy a house with a conventional loan and you don't put 20% down, it's an added fee. The mortgage insurance is protecting the lender. So it's not giving you a benefit. It is protecting the lender against your default. So I had a borrower yesterday. I was running a scenario, 680 credit score, $375,000 purchase price here in the Cleveland area. They were a veteran, and we just want to look at the options of, is VA best, is conventional best? Let's compare them side by side. And if they do a conventional loan, not only do they have to have 3% for the down payment, which on a $375,000 house is, what's that, over $10,000. But so they save that on VA, but also the mortgage insurance on a conventional loan on top of the mortgage payment, the taxes, the insurance, and the added mortgage insurance was $273 a month. I mean, that's money right back in the veteran's pocket that they don't have to pay through VA. So those are two massive benefits. The third is VA offers you what's called an interest rate reduction refinance loan, otherwise known as a VA streamline. So once you've been in your VA loan and you've made 6 payments and it's been 210 days since your first payment was due, so call it you've been in the loan for 7 months. If rates drop, it could not be any easier than it is with VA. Most of the time, you don't need appraisal, you don't need to prove income. Credit scores can be very lenient. 550 credit scores, 500 credit scores, depending on exact approval, where on a conventional loan, you're qualifying all over again. So if you're a veteran, if you're in the Cleveland area and you're thinking about a VA home loan, let's talk, because there's some massive benefits. There's a couple other things to think through. They're very lenient on qualifications. So around credit score and buying a house, around your debt versus income ratio, there's not a loan out there especially for 0% down that's easier than VA. So there's a lot of folks that might think, hey, I don't know if I have enough income. We already talked about down payment. So I don't know if I have enough income. I don't know if I have enough assets. I don't know if my credit's perfect. I mean, VA is there for you. So definitely doesn't hurt to check. Doesn't hurt to get information. VA can help you out. There are a couple things you have to plan for and you have to be mindful of, which is number one, if the house needs major repair, major renovations, it's probably not going to pass a VA appraisal. But if it's just minor things and you're going to get a home inspection anyways, I wouldn't be overly concerned about VA. You have someone like me, you have a realtor, we'll sit here and game plan with you and talk through it. But I would joke with people, like, that's why AI hasn't replaced me just yet. It's because we can look at the property, we can talk to you about those things, and we can try to figure out, like, is there a concern or is this just minor stuff? So what are the things you have to plan for on the property? So if there's major issues, roof is failing, it's crumbling, you can see that there's major damage, yeah, VA is going to want that fixed. If there's foundation issues, VA is going to want that fixed. Usually if it's missing hand railings or some safety hazard, VA is going to want that fixed. But as I just mentioned, if you're getting your own inspection, which you get before the appraisal, you're probably addressing a lot of those anyways. If you're going to buy a house and waive the inspection, say I'm not inspecting it and I'm just going to use the appraisal, then you prep for that for VA. Last couple things. If you're buying a property with a well or a septic system, expect that VA is going to want to make sure that those things are in working order. They're going to test the water for the well to make sure that it meets all local health codes and standards, which again, if you're buying something with a well, you're probably doing that anyways. But just in case you weren't, VA is going to want to make sure of it. So is it super scary? Should you be freaked out over it? No. Should we talk through it to make sure that it's going to work? Yes, I would agree. Last thing on the property is VA will do what's referred to commonly as a pest inspection or wood destroying insect, which basically is you have a local pest company come out, inspect the property, make sure there's not major issues, termite damage, things like that. And if it is, you got to get it fixed. If not, no big deal. And again, not something super scary. I mean, throughout Cleveland, there's plenty of great pest control experts and companies out there that will take care of you and know exactly what you need. All right, so let's talk about the myths. There's a few key myths that you should plan for, or you should understand that a lot of people don't know is true. Number one, you can only use a VA loan one time. It's not true. VA gives you something that's called entitlement. So as long as you have entitlement, you can continue using a VA loan. So if you use a VA loan to buy a house today, how do you have enough entitlement moving forward? So number one is if you sell that house or refinance away from a VA loan, they'll restore your entitlement. So you can use it again. So if you buy a house today, you sell it 5 years from now and buy a new place, they're going to restore your entitlement. Number two, you might have enough entitlement to have 2 properties. It happens. I have plenty of clients that buy a house today with a VA loan. They move. Maybe they're relocated because they're still active duty. They end up renting that property. And then, 5 years later, they're buying a new house. And then we do the math. Do you have, what did you owe on that house? What is the new house going to be? Do you have enough entitlement? So it's possible that you can, 1, use it over and over again, and 2, you can use it multiple times. So those are the 2, I would say, biggest myths with VA, other than the condition and people feeling like it's this ungodly, crazy process where it's really not. So if you're looking for a VA home loan expert, we're licensed in a handful of states. Check us out at honestrate.com. We do most of our work here in Ohio and the Cleveland market. So if you're a veteran, whether you've bought a house before or you're a first-time home buyer, let us be a resource to you. Let us serve you and do what we can to help you, because the VA product is fantastic and gives you all kinds of benefits. Go to honestrate.com. Send me an email at scott@honestrate.com. Send me a DM, however I can help you out. Have a wonderful day.